Hello, everyone. This is Mike from Dimensional Walking. Today, I want to talk about an interesting subject from a standpoint is it's more of a question, and I'm going to give some answers to. Is how will humans accept the fact, accept the reality that aliens have visited us and probably live among us or have been among us for a very long time? As you know, there's been some, I would call mini disclosures. It's pretty apparent there are some people in the government that want to bring this to the forefront and let basically the world know that aliens are around. We have encountered aliens. We may have maybe re-engineered or try to re-engineer UFOs. It goes on and on. And I think it's just the beginning of a full disclosure. Don't know how it's all going to turn out. But today I want to just address how different groups, different cultures around the world would probably react to this when it finally sinks in, I guess is the best way to put it. So let me go through kind of a list of ones that I've kind of want to consider and what my thoughts about those are and see if those are similar thoughts to yours. I'm sure you will have different thoughts, some of you anyways, and you will let me know in comments or if you, depending what platform you're on. I'll get that information. I'll try to answer it back to you. First of all, let's look at how scientists may look at this. For the most part, I would think if there's plenty of evidence, scientists would accept this initially, anyways. That aliens have visited us. Let's just start with that. And again, they're going to have evidence. You're definitely going to have evidence. I think government evidence will probably work for them. And so I think they're going to be kind of excited once that sinks in, okay? Because now there's all kinds of new technologies that they can look at. They'll go out and they'll try to understand what impact this will have on humans. They'll have all kinds of things to do now, okay? Some extra new things anyways. But at the same time, I think that they are going to pause and maybe step back a little bit, because it's obviously the technologies that these aliens possess is pretty far advanced. And that's going to probably put our scientists looking not too smart anymore, okay? Because our technology is probably many layers below theirs, okay? Now, can humans catch up to that with a little help from the aliens? If the aliens are going to be friendly to us, it's possible. And I think then if that seems to be the case, our human scientists would embrace that concept. So, okay, so that's a little bit of look at the scientists. Now let's look at religious leaders. Now, I think for the most part, at least initially, the religious leaders it's going to be a little bit of a difficult take for them to accept that the reality of alien life. Because it could challenge their beliefs in the nature of God in the universe. However, some of the leaders will be open to the possibility of alien life, and that would just be a sign of the vast creation of God. So, I'm sure that the religious leaders will try to make the best of it for the most part. I think they always have, and I don't think this is going to change too much for most of them anyways. And we'll talk a little bit about that a little later also, some additional things. Next thing would be government officials. First of all, of course, their primarily focus will be to try to make sure that our people are safe and reassure the public there is no threat, which, is going to get really interesting really fast, okay? They will also try to address the concerns of the public as far as the alien technology and the alien culture. So it's going to be a big, important, and maybe difficult journey for the government officials. Because we're not even talking yet about what about alien abductions, what about all the stuff that has possibly happened to humans before this disclosure. That's really going to be a tremendous can of worms, and we can talk about that in a separate one. So the general public is most likely to react to the news of alien life, a mixture of excitement and disbelief. Some people will be eager to learn more about the aliens, while others will be afraid of them. it will take some time for the people in all the cultures of the world to adjust to this. I guess we're going to call it a new reality, and that's exactly what it's going to be. And it's coming. Don't let it fool you. This is coming. Okay, I've been doing this for 55 years. I know they exist. I know they've been around, and I guess I sort of been waiting for this day. I mean, I'm not afraid of it. I've been kind of living in and among, had my own encounters with them. So, it is what it is at this point. Seriously, some people, well, of course, will be concerned that the aliens are going to take over our planet or destroy our life in some way. I got no way of telling you one way or the other what's going to happen as far as which aliens are going to be in charge or how it's going to proceed. I got no way of knowing that. I mean, even after doing this for 55 years, there seems to be a mix of aliens that seem to be friendly to us, aliens that are not too happy with us, aliens that may be straight out hostile to us. So it's really kind of a mixed bag of different types of alien personalities, if you want me to call it that. I guess we can't make any, I guess, and again, I don't want to make any assumptions what could happen. I won't. We're just going to really have to see how this proceeds, but it's going to proceed. There's no doubt about it. Once they have had these hearings, and once those Pilot and Grush and Favor, once they talk and spoke, they pretty much opened up the world to the possibility and beyond the possibility, actually. Okay, so then another player in all this would be the media. Of course, the media will provide a major role in shaping public opinion. They would, of course, report on the latest news and developments, and they will provide commentary and analysis of what has happened. And of course, as we know, through the politics and everything else, they can sway the public one way or the other by truth or misinformation or disinformation. So I guess we're going to have to see how that works out. Hopefully they're going to be fair and just, because this is a pretty tricky and dangerous situation. We're going to have to, walk ourselves through to get to the other side of it all. Then there'll be the business world. The business world, of course, will be really affected by the newness of the discovery of alien life. I'm sure there'll be companies out there who try to develop, take maybe some technologies from them and further develop those technologies or bring them under the human world. And of course, there even be some of them, I would say, would try to profit possibly from having aliens around, and it's another market for them. I know, as crazy as that sounds, but I'm sure that'll go pass through their minds. That's how they make money. So next, we're going to talk a little bit more about cultures. So let's talk about the Western culture. Western culture has been generally open to the idea of alien life. There's been a long history, of course, of science fiction and fantasy. Many people are familiar with the concept of extraterrestrial beings. Of course, we've had all kinds of movies about it. We constantly have had movies over the last 30, 40 years about aliens, alien attack, good aliens, bad aliens. However, there is also the fear of the unknown, and Western culture is a fearful culture. There's no doubt about it. And many people will be just straight out afraid of the aliens or the concept of their existence among us, basically. Then there's the Eastern culture. The Eastern culture is pretty much open to the alien life. In many Eastern religions, there is a belief of the vast cosmos with many different places that there is life on those different planets or solar systems. Some of the Eastern religions also teach that there are other intelligent beings in the universe. So they actually go out and actively talk about that in their religions. Atheists, of course, as you know, do not believe in God or any other supernatural beings. However, they are open to the possibility of alien life. Atheists believe that the universe is vast and complex and is likely that there is intelligent life other than humans. So they're very open to it. They don't believe any God exists in that, but they believe alien beings do. So that's interesting, and that's just the way it is, I guess. Indigenous people. This is a very interesting one because I've done a lot of work with indigenous people, mainly Native Americans in the East and Native Americans in the Northwest and Southwest. So the indigenous people have, a variety of beliefs about alien life. Some of the indigenous people, aliens are their ancestors and their spirits. Others believe that aliens are visitors from other planets. Indigenous people have a deep connection to the natural world and may be particularly interested in learning more about alien life. I've had all kinds of encounters with shaman and some type of shapeshifters. So this whole thing, the Pueblo Indians, the people that believe in the ant people, the aliens kind of under the ground in the Southwest. It's all very interesting, and I think that indigenous people are very open to the possibility that aliens exist, and some of them will just shake their head and say, I told you so, because the Hopis especially, they've talked about the different types of aliens in their own religious ways. So anyways, indigenous people, of course, will be open to this very much so. So bottom line here is the discovery of alien life, which I think we have done this. I think it's open now. It's disclosed, even though it's everybody, probably still a small percentage of people in the world are acknowledging it to themselves. Many of them are still in somewhat of denial, but it's out there now, basically. So I think it's a major event. I think the understanding of the universe, our place in it, has changed. However, it's important to know that aliens are just likely to be peaceful, friendly, as much as they can be hostile. And that's the thing we don't quite know yet. How are they going to come and approach us? It seems like they're not overly hostile because over all these years that they've been around, I don't think they've started any massive wars. I don't believe they have. And I think they've been around. They've kind of tried to stay out of our way. Now, what were their agendas during this time frame? I have no clue. Of course, there's still, again, I'll go back to the alien abduction thing. That was an agenda of some of those groups, and I don't think it was a really good agenda. But we'll have to see how that all plays out.